Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. So possession goes over here on the punt. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? From the 44, Winston. He finds Howard complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The reception good for 7. It's third down. To throw is Winston. And Winston lost the football. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll go with Boone. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Winston now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Vikings turn up the heat, and they block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Able to get the pressure, get a paw on it, knock it down, and then go and grab it and take it into the end zone. What a play. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Throwing again on second down. Winston, he finds his target. It's Evans. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Danielle Hunter make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. This is Hunt on the draw play. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. That's caught by Howard. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. On 3rd down, Shaw, incomplete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Back to throw. Shaw, a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33.
Let's go. Interception on the day, baby.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play.
And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. On second down now. It's Hunt. Now the ball comes loose. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back.
Ready? Black 22. Not today, you are. Not today.
Play action now. Winston. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Shaw. It's complete to Diggs. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. Of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. To throw, Winston. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To the air again with Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. Plenty of good matchups in that 1 o'clock Eastern window. It'll be noon at Soldier Field in Chicago. And a big test for the Bears, as they'll square off with the New Orleans Saints. Then, later in the afternoon, we highlight that game going on in Houston, where it'll be the Texans taking on the Green Bay Packers. And one more to highlight, a good one on Sunday Night Football between the Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A little juke. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's second down. Looking to throw on second down. Shaw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 42. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Another carry now for Madison. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. From the gun on third down. Shaw. And he's able to find Diggs. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Here's Shaw. He gets this one to Johnson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
Draw play, Madison. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up second and 10.
To throw on second down, Shaw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the gun, Shaw. He finds his man Johnson. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Bullock's kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run again with Hunt. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Winston. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort from minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Looking to throw. Shaw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he works free. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On the carry, it's Boone. And the agility got him a few extra before he's taken down right at the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Again, they're going to go with Boone. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Vita Vea, his 2nd sack of the night. He just held on to the football too long there, Charles. That's point blank, right?
Yeah, I agree with that totally. You've got to have that internal clock that goes in your head that says either get rid of the football or flush and go and use your legs and try and pick up the 1st down. I think he hung in there too long, and the blitz got to him.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Jameis Winston and the rest of the Bucs set to begin this next drive. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. Well, how's he projecting? Is he showing that the other team is getting to him? Is he showing his guys up front that he's upset, that he's angry? Or is he still encouraging? Because those guys, they've got to find a way to pick it up. And it always happens a little bit better if they feel like their quarterback's on their side.
So far, 5 sacks against him. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Completes it to Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
How about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Ready? Blue 58, come on. Big stop, D. Big stop, let's go. Swift.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Winston. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. First down sack, 2nd down negative rushing play.
And I will guarantee you right now the head coach is weighing in on his headset to the offense coordinator, whether he thinks it's strategy or he thinks it's execution, because that's going to determine this next play call. Are you staying with what you're doing, or are you going in a different direction?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big pickup of 38.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Check 9, check 9.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
54, Mike. 3 bud. Jim.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Shaw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Mike, 45. Crunch time, defense.
Off play action. Shaw. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend as his guys continue to pour it on. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know Protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
And two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. To throw again on second down. Winston. And this is caught by Evans.
Yeah, baby.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Check 55. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Now Winston. Incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Going on the ground with Madison. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Winston now gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Let's go. Let's go.
A first down throw for Winston. He completes this into the hands of Miller. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Jameis again. And Watson has it right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. This is Miller, complete. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. They needed a yard, they got it. First down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Winston. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
He likes to get those jump balls. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
They'll throw again. Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. To the air again with Winston. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Vikings now heading onto the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, you know, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Going to run with Madison again. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 15. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Winston. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Check nickel.
A quick throw taken in by Diggs. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Off the play fake. Shaw. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's Madison. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Bunting on the tackle. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
They'll run with Madison. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Vikings, first down.
Complete. It's Johnson. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, Winston again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. This will be fielded at the 17. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to the ground on first down. Here's Madison. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Vikings, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.